What's up guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a book haul. I have the huge stack of books right here of all the books that I have accumulated over the past month in July. So let's get into all the books that I bought from a bunch of different places. Let me tell you, it was a great month for buying books. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, I'm gonna go in order of where I went and what books I got first. So I went to Barnes & Noble. Here are a few clips of me just scouring the shelves, picking out a few books that I wanted but ultimately did not get. I actually read some of them on Kindle, but I did end up buying Lovely War by Julie Berry. So I have heard amazing things about this book. It is huge, it is very chunky, and just to give you a little bit of a synopsis, it's about Greek gods who are basically overlooking, I think, the First World War and the Second World War, and recounting love stories about mortals. So very interesting perspectives, very interesting depiction of characters, and even the cover, if you look closely, you can basically tell like what the storyline's about. But I started it, I am only 30 pages in, but let me tell you, I am so captivated. It is so interesting, and the way that the author started off the book and kind of set the scene of how she wants to tell love stories is very cool. Also, her writing, it's beautiful. Let me read you a line that I had underlined that I just thought was amazing. Music, lashes, lilac scented hair, the light grip of her lips, and a brief kiss upon his cheek. What he should do, James decided, and what he would do had no bearing upon each other. Like, you can see that. You can feel the moment. You're literally in that scene. There's so many more places that I began to tab and underline, but those are just two lines that I really liked. So far, I'm very excited to read this book. 2 of the booktubers I watched rated this 5 stars. I'm very interested to see if I will also rate it same high rating. Next, I went to Target because I thought that they had a book deal for buy 2 get 1 free, but they didn't. Either way, I did get these 2 discounted. So I got the infamous Powerless and I got Children of Anguish and Anarchy. So this is the 3rd book to a series called Legends of Orisha. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how it looks phonetically. And I actually read the entire series in a week, and I read this book when it came out. The edges are sprayed, which looks really cool. Unfortunately, I liked the first 2 books better than this one. I rated this, I want to say 2.5 stars. I keep flip-flopping between 2 and 3 stars because this book had literally absolutely nothing to do with the first 2. The plotline was different, the character was different, the conflict was different, the enemy was different. So it was very much, where did this come from? Out of the blue, out of left field. And one of my favorite characters was just not even a part of this book. Like, completely, entirely dismissed. The main character was like, oh, I wonder where so-and-so is. And that literally was the only mention of one of my favorite characters. So I was like, you fumbled the ball. Simply fumbled the ball. I honestly wouldn't recommend it because it had nothing to do with the first couple installations of the series, so it wouldn't really make sense to even read this one. But anyways, the sprayed edges are a nice touch. Then I got Powerless by Lauren Roberts, as I mentioned. Right now I am 204 pages in, and I am enjoying it just as much as everyone else has said that they had. I will admit it was kind of a slow start for me, but I don't know if that was just because I had recently just gotten out of the fantasy world, jumping into another one, but right now I'm absolutely eating it up. I will say I see how heavily it was inspired from the Hunger Games trilogy and the Selection series. I don't know if she intended the Selection series to inspire it, but it's giving both of those series very heavily. That doesn't take away from the fact that I'm very much enjoying it, and I'm very excited to see what she does with the rest of the series. Then my dad so graciously gifted me Anne of Green Gables. This book is so cute, so tiny, so stunning. I'm so excited to read this book. I said in a previous video that I watched the Anne of Green Gables Netflix original series that I absolutely adored, and I've heard so many people rate this book 5 stars, and this is a coming of age series of this girl named Anne, who I believe is an orphan. So I'm excited to read this. The majority of the books I read, ironically, literally quote Anne of Green Gables left and right. So I was like, all right, I need to read this book too. So I'm super excited about this. I'm ready to underline, tab it, highlight it. I'm fully going to immerse myself into this world. Then I took a little trip to Costco, and if you guys don't know, Costco has the book deals. So I got a C.S. Lewis space trilogy that I didn't even know existed for only $17. It is called Out of the Silent Planet, Paralandra, and That Hideous Strength. So I didn't even know he wrote a sci-fi trilogy. I thought he was just Christian nonfiction, The Screw Tape Letters, and Narnia. But turns out he wrote this series, and I'm very, very intrigued because I read a little info about this series, and he basically wanted to show the juxtaposition between light and darkness and how that has to do with the enemy and sin and light and Jesus. I'm very excited to read these books. Then I went to a secondhand bookstore. I wish I filmed in there, but I didn't. Anyways, I got 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand. This was part of the 24 books I want to read in 2024 that I did in my little book journal. I haven't started reading it. There's just a bookmark in here when I do. I've had all her books in hardback, so I want to also continue that trend because all the blues look really good together. So I'm very excited about this one because so far I am a big fan of her writing style. Next is I went to a little free library and I found absolute gems. Well, I know one of them sounds very interesting to me and the other two was kind of like an impulse grab because I got so excited to see books. But let me show you what I got. The first one, which I thought was just a fun little read that I could fly by through. And the reason why I picked it up is because I've just been really nostalgic about being a kid. So I literally got a kid's book and it's called All Four Stars by, I think it's Tara? Yeah, Tara Thierman. That's what it says. And it's literally about this 11-year-old little girl who finds a job being a food critic in a newspaper. It sounds fun and exciting. I'm intrigued. I'm interested by this. And I just want to go back to reading about little innocent stories, you know? So I'm very excited about this one. Next up is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This, let me tell you, this one line got to me. I saw this. I've been seeing this in the Target book aisle. And I think I also saw this on Book Talk that it was very popular. But let me read you this one line of the summary, and this is why I picked it up. A reimagining of the classic Gothic horror novel, a story about an isolated mansion in 1950s Mexico, and the brave socialite drawn to its treacherous secrets. Boom, you got me sold. I'm so interested. I don't read horror, but this is a reimagining, so I'm hoping it's not too scary. But either way, I'm extremely intrigued. Like a 1950s mansion in Mexico, low-key sign me up. Like that sounds very interesting. All right, and the second to last book I got is a thriller by Sally Hepworth called The Soulmate. She released Darling Girls. I have not read that. I have it on Kindle Unlimited, but I don't really think I'm going to because I haven't heard many good things about it. But this is from Book of the Month. It's kind of morbid, so I'm not going to give you too many details, but basically a couple lives on a cottage on a cliff. The wife's husband, so the husband of the story, saves people. I'm gonna just leave it at that. He saves people until one day somebody that he's supposed to save does not get saved. So the wife is like, wow, what happened here? Did you have something to do with the demise of this person? And that's basically what the thriller is about. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it because I don't love thrillers, but hey, I could just put it back in the little free library if I don't. So that's why I love little free libraries, because it's low risk, no cost. I'm very happy that I was able to put some of my old books in there and get some new ones. Last but not least, the most important book that I'm gonna talk about in this video is actually my husband's book. And he has no idea that I was going to do this. My husband wrote a book and it's called Warrior of Light. He's standing there watching me. It's called Warrior of Light by Nicholas Corrado, none other than my husband. It is so amazing, so beautiful, so well done. It's only 178 pages, so anybody could read this book. His writing style is easy to understand, it's conversational, and so far I am 34 pages in and I'm absolutely loving it. This book is about Jesus. This book is about revealing Jesus in ways that people have not seen him before. I really feel that if you read this book, you will be changed. So you can find it on Amazon, you can find it on Barnes & Noble, and you can find it on TBN. I'm just very proud of him. So this is his book, Warrior of Light. And with that concludes this massive book haul that I'm very excited about. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also pre-order my husband's new book. God bless you guys. Peace.
No way. That's so sweet.